Flora here, your life career coach and host of Time with Flora, where we talk, learn, and grow together. I'm really delighted to welcome Wale Ajiboye into the studio with me today. Hi, Wale.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you with me. Great to have you with us, right? Okay, great. So, Wale, you're an associate director of Acumen.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there and let you introduce yourself, what you do, and why we need to be interested.
So my name is Wale, as you know. I work for Acumen. Acumen believes that we have to change the way the world tackles issues of poverty, and we use it by investing in ideas, investing in people, and investing in companies. And the intention is, how do we find using impact investing to help create opportunities for businesses that are solving the issues of poverty in the world. And so we invest in different sectors like culture, renewable energy, education, health, depending on which area. We're around the world. We're in East Africa, we're in head offices in New York, but our focus really in West Africa is to understand deeply how can we use impact investing to solve the issues of poverty that we see, but also to change the narrative of Africa, and also using that through our fellowship program and helping young people who are solving issues around different sectors to push them forward and help them understand their journey better.
Thank you, Wale. Listen, we'll talk some more about how we met and changing the narrative as well after the break. Wale, we met, I think, about 3 years ago? Yeah. So we were both speakers at a millennial event that was organized by a local church. And I remember you. I remember you so well. One of the particular things that you talked about that really got me very interested was when you shared the story of a young boy. Was it Cyrilo?
Cyrilo, yes.
That's right. And yes, and just amazing how he built a radio, and he'd gone on as well to build to give a TED talk. I think Chelsea Clinton introduced him at the TED.
Yeah.
I was just so enamored with him. He was just amazing. But also everything that you had to say as well. You, from my recollection, we're doing a lot to do with kind of youth development, and it's still a space that you're operating in. So do you work here in Nigeria, or where are you working? You're kind of working all over the place.
So at the time we met, I was working all over the place.
Okay.
Pretty much. And it's intentional as well.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what we have seen in terms of what we've seen in Africa, you've seen the same narrative. Like, it's just typical to hear that, Nigeria has fraud issue, Ghana has problem, everywhere there's challenge. But the reality is that there's a lot more good happening at the same time. So you just mentioned DJ Focus. There are loads of other young people making things happen. So how do we amplify those work? How do we amplify the work of those people making that change happen? That's one. Secondly, we need to build framework and structure around what we're trying to do in Africa. We have an unemployment challenge in Africa. But how do we solve that? We have to solve it through the market or through support, but we need to create a framework around that. And so my work at that time that we met, which is still what I'm doing, but in a different platform, is finding how to create synergies for entrepreneurs and for young people, and then how can they leverage what's happening across Africa. So at that time, I was working for myself with my partner, and the intention is, how do we find ideas that can solve the biggest challenges of Africa, and finding market and access, giving them access to finance. So that was what I was doing that time. Which has not really changed a little bit, because now I have a bigger platform to make that happen, which is the work that I do with Acumen. And Acumen really is looking for, like I mentioned at the beginning, investing in ideas, investing in companies, and investing in people. And how do we do that? We believe that there are certain sectors that require a lot more patient capital to make it happen. You can see them in agriculture, in health, in education. It's a whole lot that you need to do in that space.
So this thing that you talk about, and we hear it a lot, don't we? Changing the narrative. How well are we doing, and what's the problem with us changing the narrative? What's the issue?
So you said it already. We talk a lot. We have people who have great ideas, but they're already doing anything. And you can't continue to push back when we don't have structure, when we're not giving the right example, or we're not bringing the right people to the table. And so to change the narrative, I think there are two ways to it. How do we find the new stories? What are the examples of those things that we're doing? How do we then work collaboratively? All of us, not work in silos, how do we work together? but building structure around things that's happening. So how do we find a next entrepreneur that can be a Dangote?
Yeah.
How do we get
We
them
need
out?
more than
We
one.
need more than one. We need more than one. And it amazes me a lot when we can find like a unicorn, like we can find those companies that can be like really strong companies that can go global. We don't have that yet, but we have potential. We have people that are making things. So we need to build structure, whether around businesses, around young people.
Yeah.
We need to find structure. And I think that's to change the narrative, building that framework, finding the right stories is what we need to make happen. And I think that we're not getting also the right voices to the table. I think for a long time, we've always brought the same people, the Dangotes and the rest of them. And those are far removed from the reality of the young people. And so if you want to find those who would help change the African narrative, how do you find the stories of people like DJ Focus, our own fellows, that can be the example that people can see themselves in them and be inspired to want to do more for the continent?
I really like that. So tell me, apart from the Dangotes, the Tony Lumelus of this world, so Wale, I really like what you say there about in terms of the response to the whole narrative thing. But tell me, who are the examples that we have, apart from the Dangotes, apart from the Tony Lumelus, who are the examples that we have that would fit into the mold that you're talking about there?
Yeah. So recently I went to, there's a place in Bariga where there's this young guy who's training, who has a school that has a dance academy as well to it. And it's it's in Lagos here. And this guy has 35 kids living with him. He has 200 students in his school. But this guy is making a lot happen in that environment. He's not so popular, but he's doing a lot in that environment. How do we find unheard voices? How do we bring them to the table? I think that's what we need. We need to find more people who are doing stuff, making things happen, whether in different sectors, whether in education, in health, and bring them to the table. I think at the moment we're just so laser focused on the celebrities, but focus on the guys who run banks. And some people will tell you that the access is what these guys have. They'll tell you, like, really, if I had the same access, I'll do the same thing. And so how do we then find very credible young people like a show that's running his dance academy and helping 200 kids?
Okay, so you bring a show to the table, and then what happens?
So remember, at the end of the day, we're trying to form policies and programs and all that.
Structures and processes.
Most of the time where we see people design programs, for example, in Africa, and say we want to solve issues of poverty or solve issues of unemployment, they bring experts and consultants who don't have the local context or don't even know what it means to live in the reality that these guys come from. And I think by finding those voices, we get true examples that we can learn from, get real models that we can really change or shape it and help policymakers. And I think that by finding those people also, we're giving hope to other young people who can say, if this guy can do it, then I can do something the little that I have as well.
Got it. I love that. Thank you very much. I think that's a really good note on which it really gives food for thought, certainly for me. Any last words before we close out?
Yeah, I think that I think we're in a very interesting time in the world. I think hatred is increasing day by day, and we're seeing that people are saying stay in your own country. I think the reality is that we have to fix what we have here now, and I think to do that we need more people to work together. I think we need more good people to work together.
Collaboration, is it?
Collaboration, intentionally. Because why do I need to reinvent the wheel? If you do this work so well, you do what you do it so well.
Right.
Why can't I use your platform to help spread messages?
Exactly.
Why do I need to reinvent the wheel? And I think that if we begin to look at that, then we probably can move the needle in what's happening in Africa. I think there's a possibility for all of us, whether you're in career, whether you're running your business, to think around what we're going to leave behind.
Powerful. Listen, let's leave it there. I loved what you said. Thank you very much, Wale. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to inviting you back. Let's have some more conversations and keep pushing the work so that the real action starts to take place. We'll leave it there and say bye-bye to our audience. We'll see you again on Time with Flora. So I hope you've enjoyed this Time with Flora episode. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can also follow us on our social media platforms as well. We'll look forward to joining you again. Bye.